Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final day of the United Draft Kingdom Invitational Group Stage. Here we're going to be finishing off the round 2 of Group A. Now, before we do get started, one thing that I would like to say is that it has been a full week with still no response from Sesio137. So unfortunately, I am going to have to mark his matches as forfeits. I am still here with Foz, as usual, if you want to say hello.
Hello.
But yes, we can conclude Group B. So what I'm going to do is just mark every single one of them as a 200 versus 0. Because what else can I do? He's just not been here. Which means that the final results of Group B are that Yosh is the first seed coming out of the group on 730 points. And coming out of the group in second place with 650 points is Freche. So congratulations to you two. Yosh just sent what? Sorry. Okay, I was just replying to some DMs. Anyway, what we will do now is we will get into Group A. So all we have outstanding now that Group B has concluded, is we have one match in Group C, which we're waiting to be played. Now, if it gets played before the end of the stream, that's going to be lovely. If it doesn't, this match will happen offline. And when I do the bracket draw after today's stream, which I will be doing, after Group A concludes, we'll be able to do the bracket draw. Since we don't know the results of Group C, instead of people's names in the spinny wheel, which is going to draw the brackets, it will just say Group C Seed 1 and Group C Seed 2. Because we need this match to be played. It will determine who gets out of the group based on the results of this match. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wait for that. But, Foz, are you ready for the first match of today?
I am ready.
Lovely. So, first up, we've got SzulerShifty on blue side versus JustADutchPerson on red side. You got the spectate link for this?
Thank you.
And as you can see, JustADutchPerson is ready. I'll just let the stream in on the little secret. None of these drafts are happening live. But we can pretend that they are. And Shifty is now also ready. So let's see what we're going to get.
The Shifty guy is really good at drafting.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay, so Varus ban. Yasuo ban, followed by a Varus ban. I think the Yasuo ban kind of indicates desire to play Varus. Could also indicate like an Ashe or something. But I think both of those champions are something that we've seen quite a lot of.
Aurora as well.
Yeah, maybe Aurora, because Yasuo's like a lane counter to the Aurora. Yeah, that could be a good shout. Okay, on red side we're seeing a Senna ban.
Also, disclaimer, this is 14.17.
Yes, this is 14.17. Now, on that regard, I have made the executive decision that because of Worlds, we will be moving to in the knockout stage onto the next patch, which would be 14.18. I think just because of Worlds, it's going to make it all so much more exciting if we do that, because it's going to be on the same patch that you guys are seeing at the World Championship, and it's just going to be more cool. Now, the original plan was not to do that, but now we are. So, yeah. Definitely start preparing for 14.18. If you're still in the competition. Plenty of time to prepare as well. And I'll put out an announcement for that in the Discord as well for anyone that's not here, so people will see it. Okay, so B1, we're looking at a Ziggs Foz.
Yes. Pretty safe pick. Common as well. Really have really good answer.
Straight into
Don't like
Smolder.
Smolder that early.
You think it's too early for Smolder?
Yeah, I think so.
I think some of the responses we've seen have been like Draven Yone.
Yeah, you can do that. I think it's too early to pick Smolder here. I think Smolder is good, but not here, I think. Karma also open, which is really interesting. Karma getting picked up, very good. Maokai. Now, this is not the common answer for Smolder. Yeah. That's not a common answer for Smolder, by the way. None of these champions really do anything to Smolder. Don't interact really well. than Leona.
Okay. How are you thinking about the first rotation so far? I think, like you said, none of these champions interact too well with Smolder. It can be difficult to deal with him. But Ziggs is like matching the range fine.
He does, but again, there's no threat on Smolder this game so far.
Got a Poppy ban and then an Olaf ban coming out on blue side, which is weird because Olaf blue is the one with Karma, so you would expect blue to be leaning more towards Olaf themselves. Although into Smolder, you can see why they might not want that. Now with Poppy and Aatrox bans, is this signaling a blind top lane pick that's weak to? Like it could be like a Nasus maybe with an Aatrox ban, but it doesn't look great in this particular instance.
Yeah, Nasus doesn't look great here for red team at all.
Silas taken away with the Maokai. I think that's okay.
That's reasonable, yes. I don't think you put Smolder mid lane ever. Okay, I guess you're not putting it bot ever. It makes sense. Makes sense actually. I like this MF pick at the moment.
Okay.
Goes hard with Leona. We got Draven.
Now, interestingly here, we do flex the Karma, but we don't pick Braum into the MF. Which I think would have been a better version of Alistair if we were going to go that route.
Oh.
It also has a stronger lane with Draven Braum than Draven Ali. And then what do you think should come in on R5 here?
I think definitely mid laner.
Yeah,
I would just slam Syndra here without hesitation.
Okay.
Alright.
It comes in with Syndra.
Yeah.
Good call.
This is a really good Syndra game. Yeah, I'm sorry, Shifty. This does not look like a good draft for blue side, I would say. Ziggs Alistar on bot lane against Leona MF. No matter how you look at it, it's giving up a lane for no reason. Ziggs does do well in general. Like just stabilizing and being like safe and everything. But this still doesn't really stop what MF and Leona wants to do, in my opinion.
Okay, let me tell you the lane assignments. So red is very much what you would expect. Smolder, Lilia, Syndra, MF, Leona. Blue is playing Draven.
Draven top.
Yeah, Draven, Maokai, Karma, Ziggs, Alistair.
Okay.
So the lane is definitely difficult for Smolder. Like that, it's a hard lane.
Huh. It is a hard lane, but I don't think Draven is safe in top at all. I think in mid lane is justifiable because it's a short lane and kind of wide and it's easy to dodge ganks without doing much.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird.
The other issue for me is that obviously the Draven is picked to try and contain the Smolder, but in terms of actual engage onto the Smolder, there's not a lot there. And even if Smolder is behind, you then have the Syndra issue, right? Because Syndra, in the same way that there's not a lot threatening the Smolder, there's also not a lot threatening the Syndra.
Yeah. Yeah, when you think about Karma mid, we're playing Karma mid. The pairing with Maokai is absolutely horrendous. You want someone to do stuff. Maokai is more of a passive jungler.
Yep.
More of a peel back jungler.
I think with a Karma mid, you want like a Zin or... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Zin. Yeah, exactly. Something that goes hard. Like even Vi in this situation wouldn't be too bad, honestly. I think Vi has a spot here, funnily enough. But of course, it's only being like Lilian's Smolder role only showing. So at that time, you wouldn't be able to know. But still, in general, like when you're drafting Karma, especially solo lane Karma, you want some hard going jungler that does stuff. Because Karma gets prio, but with the prio that you're getting, what do you do with it? You have Ziggs and Alistar bot lane. You're not really diving MF Leona. You're not going to be pressuring anything. So Karma just gets prio and falls off the entire game. And Syndra just becomes an absolute unit this game. Absolute unit. It's Syndra wet dream. Nothing gets on top of her. And she just blasts everyone that comes close to her range.
Yep. I think there's a kind of thing that I would have much preferred to see on B4, B5 would be like Yone Camille. Because then you've got Camille Ziggs, you've got Yone Maokai, you've got Ziggs Karma bot lane. I think that would be a better angle.
It would be. Yone would still suck into Sidra though.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
Yeah, but yeah.
time to rate it. I think we're in agreement that it's a red favored draft, but how far are you
Yeah.
going?
I'm going 70 to 30 for red. I think it's pretty good lead, not gonna lie. Is it playable for blue? It's very niche, I would say. It's very like weird. I think you would what you would have to do here is you just have to play for Draven no matter
Yes,
what.
yeah,
You have to get
Draven
this,
is the...
yeah. But then again, you have to contain Lilia and Leona as well, which are also good champions. Like they also can just go top here. I don't think MF would care too much. Just
Yep.
handshaking with Ziggs at this point.
Yeah.
So like there's a trade-off, and when it comes to scaling, of course, red side here is highly favored. I like Ziggs. Ziggs can pull some weight, but he's one of those champions that you don't really expect or actually put resources into. He's just there as a reliable damage dealer, and that scales well. You never expect Ziggs to go 5-0 or something like that. Whereas on the flip side, on the top here, you have to put Draven on 5-0, or this champion absolutely doesn't exist this game.
And he's also your
That's my
only
opinion.
physical damage.
Yeah, and yeah, when you combine those two, it's not a really good look, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what were you, 70-30? I was thinking 75-25.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see it.
Okay. We'll lock those in. Yeah, I think it's more just the fact that you only have this one win con, and it's not even a massively reliable win con. Because of, like you said, how vulnerable he is in that lane. Okay.
Maokai Ziggs for Unstoppable Siege. Well, I mean, smaller ults, and what do you do? Who do you
It's
see?
also entirely magic damage, which is part of the problem, is that your first 3 is full magic damage. Oops. Slight spoiler. Just move that onto the second screen quickly. Okay, let me start getting the next draft set up. So next up, who do we have? We have Kaezer versus Unkraut. I'll send you the spectate link and put this on the stream.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think this should be a fun matchup.
It should. Let's see which direction we end up going. Starting out with a Leona ban.
Strong pick.
Yep. And the typical 14-17 ban of Varus on red side. Very, very standard.
Very common.
Yes. I mean, it's just such a potent champion. Free roll flex, really dominant in solo lanes, really dominant in bot lane. Ivern as well, something that we see a lot of. And speaking of champs that we see a lot of in this tournament, there's also the Karma ban. And again, speaking of champions that we see a lot in this tournament, there's a Ziggs ban.
I like Ziggs ban.
Yeah.
Ziggs picks shapes the draft a lot. But do we have Ezreal now? But it's a little bit weaker on that aspect, but still playing the same. Yeah, Ezreal first pick, of course.
Okay. Respond. It was a Senna ban on the last red side ban, yeah. And the response is not Senna. Sorry, Zeri Maokai.
Right.
Then we pick up Ashe here, which already we're kind of breaking this flex because, you know, Ashe could go support, but you're expecting this to be Ezreal mid now.
Yeah, this is Ezreal mid, but 100%. If it's Ashe support, I think
this definitively breaks the flex.
Yes. All right, super disengage.
Yes, very.
Maybe potentially pick-oriented team comp.
Yeah. And I really like this R3 actually. Into Ezreal and into Braum.
Into Braum specifically is really good in lane, just survives. Yes. I like it too.
Okay. We end up with an Udyr ban on red. And a Jarvan ban on blue. And then Olaf ban. I think the Olaf ban with Maokai Soraka kind of makes sense. He's not great into Zeri a lot of the time, but
I think he's pickable on red side as well. Apart from Ezreal, like there's Ash Braum. Olaf
yeah,
goes through
yeah.
that. The other four, Olaf could have been a potential pick. But that's fine, still
Instead,
fine. What do we get? Syndra. Okay. A lot of answers to Syndra, and Silas is the first thing that comes up, but it's Ezreal mid.
we get Cassante on blue side. I mean, it's a blind top
Okay.
lane. I think Cassante is probably the best blind top you
Alright.
can go for. Could have covered with bans on blue side, but because I don't
B4,
think
B5.
Jarvan helps that much, especially into Ezreal. Like, you're not that worried about Jarvan, I don't think. Especially with Maokai already locked in as well. Like, Maokai Soraka, it's hard for Jarvan to actually slot in. You'd have to do some weird lane assignments.
Maybe Renekton.
R5 comes in as Renekton, yes.
I mean, okay, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it here, considering
No,
that
it's
you
a
do
winning
have...
lane, it gets prio.
Yeah, it's a prio thing. And I
Yeah.
like that. Alright. It's a good draft, not gonna lie. Interesting draft.
So yeah, it's Ezreal mid, and it's... I mean, the right side draft is exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, let's think. Ezreal into Syndra is pretty good, by the way. Ezreal has kill potential, believe it or not.
Yeah, in
I
lane,
play...
Ezreal wins the
Yes,
matchup.
wins the matchup actually pretty easily. It's one of the good picks into Syndra in general. So maybe you... Yeah, I should have thought about that. But like in general, like when you look at the draft, like in general, apart from lane matchups, I think Syndra is a good pick.
One thing that I think is really, really good is that this blue draft is incredibly reliant on either Ash Arrow or Lilia ult, sorry.
Yes.
They don't really have much else to do, and if Soraka just buys Mikhail's, then whoever gets arrowed just gets insta Mikhail's, and then they're playing this sort of kite back comp against Zeri, Syndra, Soraka with Maokai saplings. I do think Renekton is a bit disjointed and kind of useless. Like, he's just gonna get... He's kind of just a meatball. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think his job is to get grubs pretty much this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he does get grubs. I feel like something like Jax would have been better. It's just like a better version of what has been picked.
Or just Camille. I don't know why we're not picking Camille here. You have Soraka behind
Oh
us,
yeah,
Maokai as well,
Camille would be really nice too.
and a better matchup as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's for sure better R5s, but I still like red more. I think there's not enough threatening Soraka Syndra Zeri. They have good peel, they have good frontline. And it's not like one of those comps that does nothing either. You know, when you see a lot of these stand your ground comps that we see that do nothing, they have Syndra stun, they have Renekton going, they have Maokai ult. Like, they have tools as well to play the game rather than just be vegan.
Yes, I mean, I would throw an argument here that I think red side is too vegan early game though. I think the champions that we see here, they don't do much at all early game. And like I guess the Maokai picks comes to the point where it's just making sure the lanes are
I think
going
that's
okay and they're
fine
safe.
because blue side is playing Cassante and a Braum lane. Like, blue side isn't doing much either in early game.
Yeah, but blue side has Ezreal with the high prior
Yeah,
mid,
through
high
mid.
kill pressure.
Yeah, through mid.
Yes,
Blue side has
and
tools.
that the bot side jungle can fall and collapse with Lilia Ezreal here, and that's like a really huge problem for Red in my opinion, because there's not much you can do to stop it. All of your champions here, including Maokai, are just dying. Anyone that Braum touches, they die. Whenever you try to contest a single Drake or anything, I think you cannot play the early game here as Red
I
side.
don't think you're looking
And
to
that's
play the early game. Like, you can play around.
Yeah.
You can play around top side with Maokai Renekton into Cassante.
Yes.
But you're not.
So that's
looking...
why I kind of respect Renekton pick is you can go for those 6 grubs. And I don't think Red can respond to that well to it neither.
Yeah.
I guess Ash Arrow and Ezreal ult can affect that a little bit. So they have some form of counterplay, but I don't think Red has any counterplay towards bot side jungle. And that's a huge problem for Red in my opinion in this draft. So scaling wise, I think red is better. They look better as a team comp as well, but they have a huge problem getting to that point, in my opinion. I think blue by default should have advantages in the early game.
Yeah, I agree. But I think if Maokai just paths up rather than down and plays around grubs with Renekton, and that's his early game, like he trades dragon for grubs, I think red is gonna pretty reliably reach a point where it's just too unrealistic for blue to play. I'm definitely red favored. I think like
Fair enough.
not as much as the last draft, maybe 65 this time instead of I think I did 75. What are you thinking?
I'm doing a 50-50 here. I think
okay.
this comes down to execution. I just think the blue is playable. Like they look good on paper. I don't have issues with it. I think they can play the game.
Yeah, I think when I consider Mikhail's on Soraka as well, I'm really starting to struggle to see.
Yeah. I'm going to the point where before Soraka even gets to the point of Mikhail's.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she's not gonna rush Mikhail's first, right? Anyway, maybe she could, but I don't think that's that good, right?
I think I would. As Soraka into Ashe, I would rush Mikhail, yeah.
Okay.
I think you do as Enchanter versus Ashe, unless you're Milio, then you don't, but yeah, I think you do.
And I think it's like the most effect you're gonna get out of it is if you're grouped as 5. As long as you're not grouped as 5, the blue side has a lot of play potential still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think clearly I can become a huge monster this game. That could be very rough for red. That's why I'm going 50-50, because I think if execution is proper, I think blue team can get huge advantages in the early game.
Okay, that's our second draft taken care of. I'm just setting up the third one now. Put this on stream, if it clips in. There we go. So we've got JustADutchPerson versus Kaezer. Let me send you this spec link. So is this the first time we're seeing... No, we saw Dutch in the first draft, yeah, Dutch. Oh, this is an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think at this point, with Shifty losing that first draft, I think he might be out. Which means that this is kind of, with Unkraut in first place, this is kind of the battle for the second. Currently.
All right.
Currently, of course. It can change, but it's certainly an interesting one.
We don't know.
So Ivern and Varus taken away. And I think one thing that I've seen quite a lot from Dutch is heavy prio on Lilia. I think he's picked Lilia in most of his drafts. So we'll see if that continues. But I don't think this particularly signals it because he bans Poppy on blue side. So maybe looking for something more engaged themed here. But a Jarvan ban does come straight through from Kaezer. Perhaps reading that.
Yeah, that's a good response, I would say.
Then there's an Aurora ban on blue side.
But then blue can, on the other hand, just opt for something more immobile.
Yeah.
First pick, at least. Ezreal is open. Ziggs is open. Zeri is open. Okay. What are we getting? It's
very, very common 1-2 coming in that we've seen split up. We've seen it split up a lot of the time, but here we end up with Ezreal Karma going through.
Giving away Ezreal Karma is huge blow, I would say. Ziggs. So that breaks the flex. Maokai. These champions don't interact with each other so far.
I don't think this breaks the flex because they can both do both. Like they can both go in both roles. So I think they just flex with each other rather than...
Okay, but you have enough information to play off of it, at least?
Yeah. Lilia. Only thing I'm seeing for red so far, like it looks good, is I would probably get rid of Camille because Ziggs Camille onto Ezreal is really nasty, and also there's a lot of magic damage, so I'd look for some physical damage. Actually, Lulu ban comes in.
Lulu.
And red, I think seeing the Karma is going to take away Olaf. Blue, sorry, not red.
I think on red you should be banning engage champions, honestly, rather than enchanters.
Yeah, Braum gets taken away. And what I
Want to get
imagine
one more?
happened is that Dutch read that Braum ban because he bans Misfortune.
Oh,
But Tristana comes in as the mid
can't
laner.
do
So it's
it.
Ezreal bot lane, I would assume. You don't want to play
Yes.
Trist Karma bot, you do want to play as Karma bot. Then on
Yes.
4-5 here, we end up going Leona. I think Leona looks good.
Yes.
And Yone. So I do quite like this. I would have preferred Camille, I think, to Yone. Because of the Camille Ziggs onto Ezreal thing. And we go Kled on R5.
Interesting. We're not going with the Jax route here.
I think Jax looks very good.
Yeah. I don't like Kled, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, he should win lane early into the Yone. It kind of helps with how little engage we have on red side. We can kind of use it as a pivot. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Kled here. Let's see. The good thing for blue is that you have a lot of ways to start a fight. Yeah, let me check. So this is Kaezer. Kled, Lilia, Tristana, Ezreal, Karma. And then Dutch. I'll just message him.
Right?
I'm just asking him. He might message me. But yeah, it's very standard on red side. He's messaging back now. Good. Very quick. Okay, he says he thinks he went Ziggs mid.
Okay. We will assume it's 6 mid, sorry, but okay.
Yeah. Okay, so lane-wise, I think red actually has really good lanes.
Yes, absolutely early game dominance, I would say.
Yeah.
In all 3 lanes.
The issue for red is how easily every single maybe not Kled, but honestly maybe even Kled, they can all just die. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
In terms of defensive tools, they have Trist R and a Karma Shield.
And Karma Shield.
Yeah.
Yes. But they're also a little bit slippery.
They're pretty slippery, yeah, with Ezreal E and Tristana W to buffer.
Yeah. Lilia move speed and stuff, yeah. Maybe potentially hard to land crucial skill shots. Because what's reliable here for engage on blue side? Maokai ult doesn't really work here, I would say. It's more of a zoning tool. Leona R is a thing, but you also need to hit. Who are you going to hitting? Who are you hitting, really, with the Leona R? It's actually really rough to land any abilities.
I think Leona R's coming in as follow-up. I think Yone is coming from a flank with Maokai just ulting, and then if Maokai's ulting, it pushes them away, which is into Yone, and then Leona ult goes on top, and then Ziggs ult goes on top. I think it's very combo-based. And I do think anybody, like, that hits Lilia, dead. That like, Karma, dead. Ezreal, dead. Trist, dead. There's only really Kled that lives it, but I don't think Kled is... I don't think...
Yeah, there's a...
Like, Zeri just kills Kled.
Yes. But there's an interesting thing you can do here, is, as you see Maokai ult, you can buffer Kled ult into them.
Yeah.
That's also something you can do. And with Lilia, that kind of goes hard, no?
Yeah. You do, like I said, it kind of works as a pivot to give this red comp engage where they don't actually have any.
Yes.
If we assume that, like, the comps had equal gold going into every fight, I think I would favor blue, but red has so much stronger power in lane that I think that, like, maybe I even favor red because of its
early game prowess, yeah. Because it is 3 winning lanes, by the way.
I think this is close, because thematically I like blue, but I also don't like playing against 3 winning lanes. Now, the good thing for blue is that they're playing against 3 winning lanes, but their jungle isn't resource intensive. Like, if they were playing Viego with no winning lanes, he's fucked. Whereas Maokai is kind of fine.
He's always going to be useful.
Yeah. So having a low econ jungle really benefits blue with these lane assignments. I think, like you said, reliability would have been nicer for blue. Like, if they had Camille instead of Yone, I think it makes it so much better, because Camille ult into Leona ult Ziggs with Maokai ult coming in behind is a lot easier.
Yes. Because this Yone can also die pretty fast as well. If Kled can die fast, Yone can die maybe even faster.
Yeah, I think there's less, like, burst on red, though, and Yone's just going to snap back to his E if he's threatened. Or, like Lilia can't ult Yone in a fight. It doesn't do anything. He just snaps back and it disappears, like the Zoe bubble. But I think I slightly prefer red. I do think it's close. I think it's playable for both sides. I think just because of lane matchups, I slightly prefer red. The fact that they're going to pull a lead and then... The fact that it's playable for both sides in fights and kind of execution-based. But red has this early advantage. I think I favour them slightly. What are you thinking? I'm thinking like 60, 55. Like, I don't think it's much to red at all.
I mean, I would go 50-50, to be honest. Maybe 55 towards red. I would go 50-50 though.
Okay, we'll go 50-50. I'm giving that 5 points to red. So 55. Still all to play for. Very close in this group, except unfortunately for Shifty. Still a little bit behind. And actually, Dutch and Kaezer both overtook Unkraut. But Dutch has played... They've both played more drafts, that's why. Unkraut still has 2 left to do. So he needs to ideally get some points from this next one. So I will set up Shifty versus Unkraut as the next draft. Okay, grab this. Shifty Unkraut. There's your spec link. Okay, getting right into it. Straight off with an Ivern ban. We're not seeing this champion get through too often anymore. We were seeing it quite a lot in the first week or so. But since then, it's really been unavailable. Karma taken away. And Senna taken away. Then... banning a lot of enchanters on blue. And then Yasuo as well. And then we get Karthus banned away from red side.
First, right?
We go 6.
There you go. Then we go Ezreal. Right? Okay, Ezreal. Yeah.
Foz is just a prophet. Okay, what's next, Foz? What's next?
You want me to go next?
Yeah, what's next?
It's Leona.
Okay.
Leona German, okay.
What's next?
I don't like... Leona. Okay. Oh, Seraphine Dragon into Ezreal?
I don't think Foz is a fan, guys. Okay, see if you can predict this one.
Poppy. Leona, okay.
Okay.
Okay, don't make me predict. I can't. It has to come naturally.
Yeah. Okay. Olaf ban.
Okay, I like that Leona pick, by the way. That Leona pick looks very juicy right now.
It does. It does look good. It does.
You might want to get rid of things like Jax, I think. And then you can like double flex it.
Okay.
Where's the Leona then? Wait, Azir? What?
I think this helps you flex it as well, the Renekton ban. Obviously, that's a very bad matchup for the Yone.
Yeah.
Okay. So, red comes in with an R4 Rel. I think all of a sudden this red comp pivoted from this Maokai Ezreal poke into very much engage with Maokai Yone.
I like that pivot, yes. That's pretty good.
Now, into the engage, I do think that this helps, having a Poppy. And then we go Irelia.
Okay. Who is Irelia playing against? Because you can just put anything into this Irelia now.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for Irelia would be if it was into Yone, it's a good matchup into Yone. It struggles into Maokai, though, because he just locks her down.
I mean, you just send Yone mid.
And what do you pick top?
You just counter Aurelia with any counter, really. I mean, that works.
Yeah, it does work. It does work. It really does work.
Yeah. Okay, geez, man. Shifty, what's happening to you? What are these drafts?
I think this one's really
difficult. I like Poppy into Rel, but that's it. That's literally it.
Let me see if I can find the lane assignments.
I would have loved if this Rel was Leona, to be honest. And that's about it. I think Red is like perfect drafting against you.
Let's see.
Seraphine is absolutely unplayable into Yone. You have some like maybe at level 4 or 5 pressure. And that's about it, the entire game.
Okay. Let me tell you the lane assignments, and then I want you to rate this draft, okay? On red, we have Malphite, Maokai, Yone, Ezreal, Rel.
As I was expected, okay?
On blue, Seraphine, Jarvan, Irelia, Ziggs, Poppy. I think we might have cooked a little bit too hard with the Seraphine top.
Ooh, that's dying. That's perma-dying.
Yeah.
But it's dying to Malphite Maokai.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
I mean, at least you have winning mid matchup. The problem is, 1, your Seraphine's just dying, and then 2, in team fights, you're just getting smacked. Like, you don't really... You have Poppy to help defend you, but Malphite just presses R and Yone presses R. And who lives?
Yeah, thematically, Yone just does so much more apart from laning phase.
What I like about Yone Malphite here is it turns Rel into your secondary engage, which makes it much harder for Poppy to block it. Because she's your follow-up rather than your primary engage.
Yeah. Let me be as blunt as possible. 0-3 Yone is more useful than 3-0 Aurelia here.
Yes, because Aurelia really struggles to play into the triple tank.
All of these champs.
Yeah.
She doesn't do anything into them. And it's really rough. And consider that even Ezreal can bend armor, by the way. Even he can build.
Yeah, he can. He can go Frozen Heart.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really rough for Aurelia just in general.
I don't think he even should though here. Like it's only Aurelia Jarvan with damage.
Like I'm just saying he's capable of doing it if Aurelia ever becomes a threat. Yeah. So like it's really easy to handle it. This is not like really a pick that I didn't like it.
I think it would be a 75 red as soon as you put Seraphine top. I think it's an 80 red. What do you think?
I'm 80-20.
Okay.
Absolutely. 85 actually 85-15. Changed
Okay.
my mind. Red's red. Yeah, absolutely smashed, to be honest. Even with the lane assignments like this, I don't think Seraphine top can.
It just can't. It can't play. It can't walk up.
Yeah.
The lane is
the only thing
too long.
I would. Yeah. The only thing I would think about is she still okay if she's behind? Does she still provide the same utility and everything? Does her shields fall off or anything like that? Then you could consider that it's okay, but only okay.
Yeah.
Because again, it's against small kind Malphite. Even kills on them, they don't matter too much.
Okay. That's the 4th draft. Red side doing really well today. Won every draft. Now we've got Kaezer versus Shifty. Now, the last 2 matches are Kaezer versus Shifty and Unkraut versus Dutch. So there's a very tight battle between Kaezer and Dutch right now. And Dutch would, if Shifty's ever gonna smash a draft, Dutch is praying for Shifty to smurf this one. So let's see how it goes. Ready up. Straight into a Karma ban on blue side. Now, luckily for Dutch, red has won every draft and Shifty is on red, so it's a promising
give
sign.
me the link.
Oh, you don't have the link. Sorry.
I don't have the link.
I'll give you the link. I'm slacking. Okay. Yeah, Karma ban. Varus ban. Okay, Karma and Ivan taken away again. Yasuo on red side ban here. And then we see MF ban into Silas red side ban, which is interesting because I think Silas is like a red side champ rather than a blue side. Okay, B1. Ezreal, again. A lot of Ezreal.
Classic.
And we've been seeing these. These are the champs we've been seeing a lot. Guess what's coming in with it?
Yeah. Leona? Okay.
We're seeing these champs a lot today. Okay. I'm actually not a fan of this B1, B2. Very disengage heavy, but Ziggs is already locked in. So I think if you just commit more into range with red, you should be happy, right?
Yep. I mean, both sides are just disengage.
Yeah.
And now we have some scaling with Senna.
Yes. For now, red has more damage and range, which is keeping them favored, but we'll see. Olaf ban comes in, which all three of the champs are weak to Olaf, so I can see that.
Yes. The good ban.
Am I seeing that right? Yep. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess it's because Senna. I just closed the fucking draft thing. 1 sec. This is a Neela ban. I guess because Senna's locked in. Though I don't think Neela does too well into what's being shown. Need to reopen this. There we go. Olaf. What's banned next? Yone. And I could see Yone. I would love Yasuo, but he's already banned, so that's definitely not happening. What else? Smolder gets banned by blue side. I do think blue side draft is very weak to Smolder, so I guess it makes sense. We end up getting mid lane, well, I'm assuming at this point, mid lane, Corki. And then we go Ashe, so we're playing Ashe, Braum bot. And then Zyra jungle. So how do you round out this draft on red?
Hard engage, I would say. Get Malphite angle, to be honest. So we booked Maokai top.
No, I think it's Senna Maokai. Wait.
Oh, what is going on?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to check. Let me see what Shifty said. It is Maokai top. Maokai, Amumu, Corki, Ziggs, Senna. And then Gragas, Zyra, Ezreal, Ashe, Braum.
Okay.
I mean, the comps kind of want to do similar things. They've got like a sprinkle of engage, but they're mostly about like range and disengage.
Yeah. The question is who plays more with Prio here?
I think
it's pretty evenish.
I think it's red. I think top is even. I think red bot lane are just shoving Ashe like it's a Braum lane into Ziggs Senna. I think red bot lane is just perma pushing. And then
I think that would be a hard lane to push, no? Because Maokai also doesn't do much.
Like
comparatively to Braum. Yeah, I think Braum wins this early.
No, it's Senna Ziggs.
Oh, Senna Ziggs. Oh my god, I'm stupid, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, Ziggs, Senna definitely push out.
The thing I see for red is like the amount of damage that's coming out from range is so much higher. Like, it's hard for either team to commit to an engage because of how much disengaged there is and like a lack of actual engage. Like, blue is kind of looking to play off an Ash arrow into like a Gragas ult, like arrow someone and then cask them in. Red also in these, it's a lot of it is kind of like a poke off, right? With Ezreal, Zyra, and Ash W, and Senna's healing is going to do so much to mitigate that. So I think I'm favoring red. Again, it's red every game today.
Yeah, me too. Definitely red favorite here.
Okay, how much?
I would say 60-40, definitely. I think blue is still playable. I think it's just favored to red.
It has things it can do. I think 35-65. You going 40?
Yeah, 40-60.
Okay. We are trying to speed up a little bit, by the way, guys, in the chat, because Foz has to leave soon. But we've only got one more draft to do, so we should be okay. Okay, so Dutch was hoping for this Shifty win, and Shifty pulls it out of the park. He pulls it out of the bag, gets the win. And now we've got one final draft between our favourite matchup, Foz. Our absolute favourite matchup. To round out the tournament, we've got Unkraut versus JustADutchPerson.
Unbelievable.
Right back to that first ever match. Give
me the link and I'll have to AFK, I'm sorry.
Okay,
you walked through the draft with the chat.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk about it and
yeah, right back, sorry.
No problem. Yeah, Foz has got CWL again today, so he's got to go do stuff revolving around that, I think. But let's get this show on the road. He's got the spectate link. Spectate link is on the stream. And we're starting out with a Maokai ban from Unkraut. Into a Senna ban on red side. Now, Dutch has the red side advantage. We've seen this in this group today. Red side seems to have the advantage. But we'll see how it goes. Ash. Coming out as the ban. Followed by Varus. Very, very standard on the red side bans. What's next? Olaf ban. Interesting. So what are we looking for? Maybe thinking to break up this Ezreal Karma thing preemptively, like not allow the Ezreal Karma into Olaf, potentially. And then we get a Ziggs ban. So no Ziggs this time. I do think Ziggs has been extremely powerful. And the nerfs are kind of fake. I don't think they push him out of the meta for World Patch, honestly. Anyway, Ivern comes in on B1. And then we end up going Lilia-Triss. So I did say that Dutch has been drafting a lot of Lilia. Goes back to that. Fairly solid. What do we end up going for? Oh, we go heavy on blue side. We go Draven. And we go Leona. Now this Draven is still a flex. Draven Ivern's a good mid-jungle. But also Draven Leona is a very powerful bot lane that you have to consider when you draft around. We go Braum. Picking a disengaged support into the Leona. Not a terrible idea. Also, leaning into engage so far on blue side. Azir comes in as a ban. I'm not sure you actually want Azir though. On blue side here. Gangplank coming in. Interesting. Gangplank ban. Maybe for the Serpent's Fang into the Ivern. Then we get Orianna ban. I think that makes more sense for blue than Azir would. Or we're just target banning Faker. Maybe Faker plays for Unkraut's team. We'll have to see. And Unkraut takes away Gwen. Interesting. Now Dutch is going to grab Jinx. Now this is pre-Jinx buff, of course, but I do think that the buffs don't actually change anything. Like, they're not real. They're not actually real buffs. Now, I think this was quite telegraphed. This next... Well, not this. We go Kog'Maw, first of all. So we're playing Kog'Maw Leona bot, maybe. It could be AP Kog'Maw mid. But this is what I think was telegraphed, because we banned 2 champions that counterpick Renekton in lane. We go blind Renekton. So how do we answer it? With the final pick of the draft. And for JustADutchPerson, we go with Shen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the final draft of the stream. Now, let me see if Foz is back. I don't think he is back yet.
I'm back. I'm back.
Never
Oh,
mind.
sorry.
He's back just in time.
Woo!
The draft just finished. Okay.
Oh, what am I looking
This
at?
is your first time seeing it. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, Ivern. Lydia, Tristana. Okay, Draven. All right. Oh. The Shen pick. Ooh. Lena Simons is Kog'Maw bot, right?
I will have to find out. I think Dutch sent it to me. Draven mid, yeah, Kog'Maw bot. And Tristana mid, of course.
Okay. All right. Well, mid lane is in favor of blue, definitely.
Yeah.
With the Ivern, this is one of the matchups you can abuse and create some advantages of, so it's a little bit justifiable. I usually don't like Draven Ivern. Or like, I don't like Draven Ivern in mid lane, okay?
Okay, I quite like it.
I don't because there's a lot of, like, unless it's just stomping lane with Draven,
Yeah.
then I like it. If it's not, then yeah, it's really rough. There is a Braum pick. Braum does stop a lot of what Blue wants to do. Yeah.
Quite like the Shen as well. Like the matchup into the Renekton's not bad.
Yeah.
It's losing, but it's not like hard losing or anything, and then it helps out your Jinx a lot to play the game. Because for blue, if they don't one-shot Jinx, it can be quite hard to actually kill her. Also, I really like Lilia in this draft. Like, she just runs around the Leona Renekton Ivern and just, like, you know, she's just being Lilia. She's very happy to be Lilia in this draft.
So we're heavy AD. I guess there's like a lot of true damage and non-hit. But we are heavy AD. So like Renekton and Draven are going to be feeling less powerful.
There's actually no true damage, but there's just like Kog'Maw magic damage.
Yeah, like on hit stuff. Yeah, I'm slightly favoring red, but blue can play through early game. At least like
blue's early game is really good.
55 red, 45 blue. I would say. I think it's playable even in early game because how do you actually like put this? How do you like forward this lead as blue if you're getting it?
Yeah, I think like
the
double AD carry with Lilia. Yeah. There's like 3 targets you need to kill, and there's a Braum to get through, and there's a Shen. And honestly, like this is a good Shen angle. Like the Shen Renekton matchup, Shen is stronger level 1, so you can use that to get level 2, and then try to crash third wave with that. From there, he's losing, but he gets that first reset, and it makes him really happy in the lane. And then, obviously, Shen's doing... Unless Renekton is literally on top of Jinx to break Shen'll, then Shen'll is going to get full value. I think Shen W has so much value this game into Renekton, Draven, Leona, Kog'Maw. Braum's just blocking so much. I think Blue's win condition is stomping early, but I think it's like less viable than a lot of these other drafts where Blue could stomp early. So I think for me as well, I think this might be the only draft I think Unkraut has lost. And obviously he got caught by the blue side curse of round 2 Group A. I think maybe like 40-60. What did you say?
55-45.
Okay.
I think the scaling is definitely on the side of red. Definitely because of all the armor stuff that you can build on these champs.
Okay. Well, that wraps up Group A, guys. So we have our final scores. In first place, we have Unkraut with 775 points. In second place, we have JustADutchPerson with 650 points. And Kaezer with 615 barely didn't manage to get out. But I think this was a very, very good group. And I think, like, for Shifty, a lot of the time you cooked too hard. But also, I think the other 3 people in your group performed very well. And I think specifically Unkraut I would expect to go far in this tournament, and I think Dutch has a good chance of going far as well. I do think Group A was quite... I think people said going into it, right, that Group A was quite stacked. Okay, you still here, Fuzz?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, do you have to go?
I have to go, yes.
Okie doke. Right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to stop this recording here, but the stream will continue while I do the bracket draw, which will be a completely different video, which is why I'm going to stop the recording and start it. But yeah, thank you for coming once again, Foz. It's been great having you. Enjoy
Thanks for
your
having me.
CWL.
Thank you.
All right.